Hello, 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 and welcome to the Rag Company podcast, not to be confused with the Q&A. It happens sometimes. It's a little later in the day, so I could see why it might feel like a Q&A, but no, it's our podcast where we talk about our weekends and other things you might not find on the Q&A. So there's that. Anyway, I'm your host, Dane Henton, and to my right, Levi Gates.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And to my left, Anthony Fisher, who did not hold us up whatsoever.
No, I have never done that.
No, definitely not.
Yeah,
so, all right. We're all here now, which is great. We're glad to see you all, your shining faces there in the comments. Looks like there's actually quite a few of you.
Look at this passive-aggressive comment from us at the Rag Company.
Yeah,
sorry,
right?
wait, let me read that. Sorry, guys. Anthony had an appointment he neglected to mention to us he's going to right now after the garage tour. So it turns out he won't be starting until sometime after noon here.
3 hours ago.
You can't put that. You throw me under the bus, your own co-host.
3 hours ago.
3 hours ago. Insane.
They know it's worth it because they know you always bring the stories.
Well, we'll see what kind of stories we have from this weekend.
By the way, the title references your story this weekend, among other things, so that's fun.
We'll
but before we do that, we've got some housekeeping, some things to address. What's going on?
All right, so... as you guys know, right? So there was, and I think it has ended. Can somebody correct me? Actually, no, the full glass giveaway. Can we get that up here?
Yeah, well, comments? Bring it up on the screen.
So basically, right, Dabbler Details, one of our Q1 ambassadors, hosted a giveaway, right? The full gloss giveaway. Can we click on that and can we see when that ends?
Make sure it's still going?
Because I want to make sure if it's still going or whether it's not going or not. Honestly, I should have probably looked beforehand. Can we jump to the website there?
They're trying.
Oh, they're trying. Okay. So I just want to make sure, because if this is still going, because I can't remember if he said it ended in this first week of August or if it ended literally
on
like
the
that first day of August.
Because you don't want to tell people something's going when it's not.
So it ended on the first day. So
it's over.
So it's over
So
officially.
good job to all of you that entered.
Yes.
Excited to hear who Dabbler picked to be the winner.
Well, it's random.
I know. That's what I mean. Who gets picked?
Yeah. So anyway, hopefully you guys entered. There's a ton of cool stuff in that prize, and I hope it goes to a good home. I mean, seriously, that's like... That's a full garage setup for somebody that has nothing, right? Viper chairs, spotless system, detailing products, literally an LHR 15 Mark III.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy, man.
Pretty nice.
Pretty insane. So other than that, though, a couple new items we're working on here at the Rag Company. Behind the scenes, we do have some new products kind of coming out soon. Hopefully pretty soon. Fingers crossed. And then, obviously, we're going to be leaving for Monterey Car Week.
Yeah, we got Monterey on Monday. So this is our last week of work that we got to get done before we go. And we're trying to cram... Gabe's crammed a lot of stuff this week for us to do before we leave.
We are busy.
So we've got a lot of stuff that we got going on. But just want to make sure that you guys at least make sure you follow the Rag Company Instagram page. Yeah.
Yes.
I know follow Dane, follow Anthony. I know they're going to be posting a ton on their stories.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be able to see a lot. I'm going to be posting from my Facebook page. So we'll be putting the stories on there as well. So hopefully you can check out and you can see what our adventure is going to go do. Make sure you guys also follow Next Day Nate.
Yes,
because he's going to be taking some pictures as well, and Gabe Garcia will also be doing it. So
I'm going to try my best to try to stay up on all the Instagram feed. So basically, from the second that we leave on that flight, I want to start getting story posts out there, which means I'm going to have a charged battery.
Yes,
maybe a couple.
Which is a rare thing for you.
Backup
Bring
charged batteries.
A backup battery for your backup battery.
But we're going to be doing that, and I know that Dane's going to be filming some more vlog style stuff. Some stuff to kind of keep us going along the way. And I'm hoping that this trip is awesome. I hope everybody is able to stay safe in the trip, and whatnot. Really
I'm excited too. Dane, you and Gabe are going to be rooming together.
Yep.
Anthony and I going to be rooming together.
As always.
And Nate and Josh are going to be rooming together.
Which is, I think it's a good dynamic. Me and Levi, we sleep the best together. Not literally together, but we sleep
really well together.
We sleep the best in the same room.
Wow, fanfic.
We have a system. We do. It's a complete system. And the second we say, "All right, dude, good night, man," we're out.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it. We wake up. Levi wakes up before I do. He usually calls Carly. He says, "Hey, man, you got to get up," but he says it in a nice, soothing way.
Yeah, I don't
feel rushed at all. It's really nice, and so I'm able to get up, kind of take my time with plenty of notice, get showered and ready to go. Right. So I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to it. It's our first trip in such a long time that it's stuff like this that kind of feels like it brings us together as a team again and gets us on the road doing what we do best.
It's like what we do best.
Yeah,
That's and we've been denied that for so long.
We haven't done that for a year and a half now.
Yeah, which is weird.
It feels very weird after traveling as much as we used to just stop.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah. So, okay. So I guess let's just go ahead. And one last thing. So today, this morning, as we mentioned in the comments here, we did film your Levi Gates, the MOS HQ garage tour.
Yes,
we did.
By the way, people really enjoyed that one with Gabe. I was so happy to see the comments. Like when I was making the shared post, I really encourage people because sometimes you kind of have to work on people to get them to talk about stuff.
Pull the words out of their mouths.
I found that going to the garage and stuff, I said, hey, if you want to offer your personal input, people are ready to give their input on people's garages. Like they're all about it. So I'm happy to see that interaction. So thank you to all of you who watched it and actually said something.
And I'm hoping this works because you're going to see a lot of different solutions. In reality, because each one of us is different. Each one of us does something differently. Yeah. Like watching Gabe's, I saw some things where I was like, oh my gosh, I need to do that.
That makes sense.
One big thing that like really blatantly stands out, and it only happens if you've ever had to deal with this. Gabe's manual water shutoff for the house in his garage.
That's a big one.
It's a huge thing, especially if you've ever had to go out of town and then you have ever had a flood and come back, or you're at work and you have a flood. Like it's amazing that he has that when he was like, oh, I did that. But I remember it's because he had a huge, massive flood.
Yeah, once
in
it
his
happens,
house and had to redo all of his flooring in his entire house again. Yeah. And so, once you make that move, you're like, oh, I need to do that.
Like
and
an
I was
emergency pump shut off at a gas station.
They should give you a discount on your insurance for saying, I have a manual shut off for my water.
Yeah, right.
Oh, wow. 10% discount.
My garage.
No, it is because like I remember at my old house, I did that.
Yeah.
I told my buddy who was a plumber, he came over, he put some stuff in. I was like, I need a manual shut off right here in this closet.
Right to the
and he's
main
like,
line.
okay, perfect. It was the best thing ever. And then I move into this house and I still haven't done it. And so I think it's just fun to learn something like that where I was like, it just sparked something in me where I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get on that. So
I really want people to continue checking this series out because it seems like the interaction is extremely positive, and that which is great for us because we feel like a lot of the content lately has kind of been hit or miss with certain people.
And the views on this one were like right down the middle, but not in a bad way. It's anytime you introduce a new topic to your channel or a new subject, you're gonna get mixed because it's not what people are necessarily used to.
Yeah.
So you find that sometimes if it's not a product video, they don't show up as much.
Yeah.
But in this case, it seemed like the people who did show up were every bit as excited to be there. And you could see from the watch time that people were sticking around and watching the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
super cool.
It made a big difference.
And we just appreciate the positivity. I mean, honestly, because we're really putting ourselves out here, making
we're
this.
coming to
you want to talk
house.
about putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
I cringe at the
Dane,
thought of
Dane
mine
absolutely is
going out next.
We're putting ourselves out there, right? This is behind the scenes stuff, right?
Yeah.
But the cool stuff that hopefully brings you guys in on our lives outside of work, but we don't want negativity, right? And it would be really easy for somebody to, let's just say, even Gabe's garage. Somebody could say, oh, Gabe's garage, his lighting. Oh, that sucks. I had that lighting. He should do a different lighting.
Not the most aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, like there's things that people could say, but they're not saying that, right? They're saying, hey, I got some good ideas from this. I want to see more of it. And so
constructive feedback is always welcome. If it's something where it's like, oh, because of XYZ reasons, maybe consider doing this. That's the kind of constructive stuff. We welcome that. We want people to be able to offer that. And
the perfect part
people
too,
might actually take it and run with it.
No project is finished, right? Yeah. So this is none of our garages are finished. No garage that you'll see on the series is probably like this is it. It's completely done. So use this as an opportunity to maybe if you have maybe a negative comment or if you're thinking like, oh, they should have done this, word it in a positive way, like, hey, some ideas, maybe looking at doing this or maybe looking at doing this because that helps us out and everybody else watching and also other people looking at the comments. And so I'm excited. I think it's going to be really awesome. Dane's is coming up next after Gabe's. A little bit different than Gabe's garage setup, obviously. But regardless, we're looking for ideas, too. And what I'm hoping, maybe...
yes.
Man. Two keys.
Two keys. But what I'm hoping, I was thinking another garage that we need to take a tour of would be Sydney's garage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
Sydney's
hers
is great.
Is a detailing literally a detailing
She runs
shop
a business out of it.
and garage.
So it's a real business.
Yeah,
That's what
it
she
is.
said hers.
Yoshi trying to stir a little bit here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shared in the OG
if
group. I
we
don't know
could,
if that
yeah.
would fly.
We could. I talked to Matt this morning.
Yeah.
Did you?
Right after we left my house, he called and he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, we're just filming our garage tours of our own personal garages."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, that's cool."
Like
he goes,
for all the people who would go to his
Yeah.
channel and say something annoying about
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this isn't realistic"
Yeah.
or whatever. It's like, great. So check out this series by the Rag Company.
Yeah, he goes, "I saw Gabe's. I didn't watch all of it, but I saw it. Are you guys all doing it?" And I said, "Yeah, we filmed Dane's. We did mine today. We're doing Anthony's tomorrow." And he was like, "Oh, that's cool. That's fun."
So if anybody wondered what Matt thinks of it, there you go.
Honestly,
Yeah.
and Matt, like, he wouldn't cringe at a garages. He's not like that. You guys think that he's like that, but he's not. He'd be like, okay, cool, right on. Yeah, well, here's some ideas. You could do that and do that. But, like, the thing is he would only give us ideas if we asked for him. He wouldn't just come out and say, oh, this is, garbage. You should totally do this. We would say, what would you do? And he would say, oh, what I do? Then his brain would start wandering.
Oh,
He'd be
yeah.
like, I do
That's
this,
how
this,
he's
and
wired.
this. So he is very supportive. So shout out to Matt because while we may not all have obsessed garages, we have good enough
we're all
garages.
obsessed with our garages.
We are.
I think my episode coming up is going to make you all feel a lot better. Just saying.
Well, so yeah. Anyways, and if you're local and if you have any interest in being on our garage series, just in the meantime, because the local stuff seems like it's going to be the easiest to do,
for us to do.
shoot us a message.
Yeah.
Email Levi at the Rag Company or Anthony at theragcompany.com. And if you're open for us coming out, taking the camera and checking out your garage, we'd love to do that. And then maybe someday down the road, we'll be able to do some more remote stuff or traveling stuff.
Yeah, we can expand on that. Maybe we'll go to Gordon McCall's garage.
Oh, that'd be nice.
That could be interesting.
All right, Levi, this weekend, what'd you do?
Oh, thanks, guys. So it was hot. It was muggy. It was Florida weather in Boise, Idaho.
60% humidity.
really
80%.
80%, that's what it was.
On
Okay.
Saturday, it was 80% humidity. Friday night, remember, Friday we left, it was hot. It was like almost 100 degrees.
With the lightning storms going by, open the
But
windows. the whole
Friday,
house got sticky.
it didn't rain.
Yeah.
It started to get cloudy, right? So Friday we left here. I headed home. Me and the kids went and got snow cones, so that was nice. I took the kids, got some snow cones, came back and finished our snow cones. And I thought, God dang, the Suburban is muddy because I took it up to the dump a couple weeks ago. Did a dump run.
Oh, love
with
doing
green
dump
bean.
runs.
Yeah, had green bean
What
in the
you guys
back.
don't know is the dump here in Boise is off-roading.
It is.
Yeah.
and
It
it's on top
is.
of a mountain.
It is legitimate off-roading. Like, it
Yeah.
is not like a perfect
The
dump.
asphalt ends halfway along your drive to the
Yeah.
actual
Well, and
dumping
then when you
point.
get to the top where you do the drop off, it's squishy.
Yeah.
It's mud.
Yeah.
And so, like, I remember taking my little Sonoma doing a dump run, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to get stuck.
You need some ground clearance.
Like, this isn't going to be
to go
good.
out
I'm never doing this again." And that's when I sold that little truck and bought green bean because I thought, no, I need some 33s, 34s. I need 4-wheel drive. I need
I
some
think
mud
it's a
terrains.
minimum there at the dump, at least 33-inch
Oh, yeah.
tires. And
Yeah.
so I know that I'm good. I know that you're good. Dane's
Dane's
overcompensating
a little
for
too
that.
much. But point
maybe
is,
a little too much
Yeah.
wheel.
Point is, did a dump run, so the truck was very muddy. So I thought, man, it's starting to cool off, right? The wind was coming in, it was blowing.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, it's like 80 degrees out there right now. And it was
Yeah.
like 8 o'clock at night. So I went outside and washed the Suburban. Got it all cleaned up, looking sharp. I was like, man, that looks great. Then parked it. Friday night, rains.
Yeah.
Come out in the morning, I'm like, dang it. Oh, well, whatever. Saturday was humid, 80 degrees. It was 80, 90 degrees, but it was 80 to 90% humidity.
Which
You could cut the air.
around here
It
is
doesn't happen.
Borderline unheard of.
We don't get humidity. So for it to be that humid, it was gross. So
Yeah.
kind of spent Saturday kind of just hanging out. We didn't really do,
Yeah.
we didn't want to leave our air conditioning.
Just feel wet.
It just was, it was gross. So
A lot of smells happening really fast,
Yeah.
too. You know what I mean?
So,
Indoor
Saturday
and
morning-
outdoor,
yeah.
right?
Oh.
But Saturday morning, we had our aunt in town.
Okay.
So Friday night we went and had dinner with her. Saturday she wanted to go to the Saturday market. So me and the kids threw on our masks, headed downtown with her, walked the Saturday market, had a good time.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of cruised around, saw some stuff, and then headed back home. She left, drove back to Utah, came and saw Carly and I and the kids and stuff before she left, and then went back to Utah. We basically said, screw it, let's just hang out rest of the day. I started taking our pool down in the backyard just because my kids aren't playing in it. School starts in a week. Carly's like, let's just take it down. So started draining that, getting that ready to go. Have it all the way drained now, but I need to finish folding it up and get it dry before I put it away. And then, so that was Saturday. Saturday, basically, we thought, let's see if my mom wants to watch the kids. So called her. She said, of course. Took the kids over to my mom's house. They spent the night. Carly and I said, man, we got the night to ourselves. Let's go watch a movie. Haven't been to a movie in like a year and a half with my wife.
We still haven't been to the theater?
Hadn't been to the theater.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which one did you see?
So we thought, let's check. Rotten Tomatoes, 90%. Green Knight.
Ooh.
I myself, big fan of Arthurian legends. Been reading a couple audiobooks, a whole Arthurian legend series, as well as a Grail Quest series. Finished Bernard Cornwell's books.
Wow.
So
what theater were you guys thinking?
So we went to Edwards 21,
which is
the main one downtown.
Overland.
Yeah, in Overland.
Overland Theater. Okay.
So we headed to that, to the 21, got our tickets, sat down, got our popcorn, got our soda, watched the movie.
Yeah.
That was so long, so boring.
Oh my gosh.
I was fine. I tolerated it. I said, okay, I get it. It could have been faster. They could have sped it up a little more. I understand it's based on a poem from like the 1300s.
Is this the action one? What is the Green Knight about?
There's no action in this movie.
What is the Green Knight?
He's a Green Knight. It's literally a
K.
He is a
knight.
It is a wooden man that comes up out of the earth and has a game that he's going to play with Gawain, Sir Gawain of Arthur's Round Table. Basically says, you hit me, I hit you.
That's what this whole movie was about?
Yes.
Just hitting each other?
That's just for one scene, and then 1 year goes by, and he has to go back and get back to the Green Knight's chapel a year later to receive his hit.
So, no action.
I really wanted to like it because
we call those movies cerebral.
It's very cerebral, but it needed to go faster. They sat
pacing. No matter what you want to say, pacing
fast or slower atrociously.
It needed to be slower than Fast 9, but faster than Green Knight. Let's put it that way. Dane, it would have driven you
broad range.
But Dane, it would have driven you nuts because of that pacing. They sat.
I like slow burn movies like I love.
Yeah, I do
if
too.
I'm watching, say, Blade Runner or something.
Oh, I totally am there.
Famously boring for a lot of people.
I get it.
I enjoy it.
Yes.
But this was not that.
It was just like there was spots where I was like,
yeah.
Okay, I've seen this. Let's move on to the next
Was it
scene.
like talking scenes or was it like walking
quiet.
scenes?
No, not even walking. Standing still.
Just like establishing shots?
Just establishing shots that were taking way too long.
The wooden man statue. It's just a wooden man.
It was just taking
shots.
forever. And I was like...
don't have much of a budget and you got to come up with creative
They did a good job with other stuff. They did a lot of really good stuff.
It's like the costumes and the set dressing. Set
dressings, where they did the sets, everything was really good.
What famous actors were in this movie?
Dev Patel.
Who's that?
Dev. Yeah.
Kid from Slumdog Millionaire. He plays Gawain, the Green Knight.
Okay.
And then who's the Australian actor?
Gonna have to be more specific.
Edgerton.
Edgar
Wright.
No.
Edgerton.
Oh, that's
the one from Fighter, or not from Fighter, but from Fighter. He played Gawain the Green Knight in the Disney King Arthur. With Anyways, point
totally
is two really big guys, and then Alicia Vikander.
Oh,
she's in it too.
Okay,
really good cast, but it was just
boring,
too slow. Carly hated it. She was totally upset. I didn't mind it. I just was like, it could have gone faster.
It's because you like the period and the
so
stuff,
I was like, I get it, but
involved.
Yeah, G. Davis, Blade Runner works better than Benadryl.
Yeah.
There you go. So, but basically, so we went to the movie. We got out of the movie. Carly's like, it was awful, and I was like, well, sorry about that. She's like, no, you probably liked it. I couldn't sit through it. So we get home, but on our drive, that's when the rain hits. Ladies and gentlemen, torrential downpour.
Yes.
So we get home, we get some snacks. We kick back. We watch some Ted Lasso and some Smigadoon. Hilarious. Love both those shows. Sitting watching those two things on Apple TV. Downpour, lightning, thunder. storm to rival all storms on Saturday night. I opened the windows. Carly and I sat out there and watched it for a while. I turned all the lights off in my garage. We opened the garage door.
Yeah, the flashes.
Sat out there and watched. I mean, it lit up our neighborhood. It was crazy.
Jeez.
Torrential downpour.
Yeah.
Sunday morning, I wake up. Drive over to my mom's house to pick up the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Get there about 9 o'clock. Grab the kids. I'm walking out, driving the Suburban. Walk out to the back with their little suitcases. Open up the back of the Suburban. All right, I've got that WeatherTech mat on the back, full of water.
Mm. Oh.
Then I go.
Did you put some water? Did you maybe dump some water in there?
No.
For fun?
No water. I didn't have bottles of water. I didn't have anything.
Okay, well, that's strange.
And I go, like I open the doors and I have their suitcase. I'm going to throw it in. I'm like, why is it? There's a lot of water back here.
Yeah.
And so I reach in. I got a couple gauntlets in the back of the Suburban.
Perfect, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Open up the little cubby, pull them out, set them down there, suck all that water up, throw their suitcases in, and I'm like, that's weird. Now, when I did get in the Suburban on Sunday morning, I smelled dampness.
Ooh.
And I thought, truck's just wet. Like,
sure.
Right? Truck's just wet. Didn't think there was actual physical water in the back of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Get home. We go grab breakfast. I get some sodas, all that stuff. We get home. We eat breakfast, all that stuff. Carly goes, hey, what do you need to do? I said, well, I'm going to finish picking up the garage. I'm going to get it ready because we got the tour today. And then I'm going to go work on the... So I want to go get some, like, get a drink or something later. And she's like, all right. Sure. So she takes the kids. They go for a hike along the Greenbelt, a little walk along the river.
Yeah.
And Carly's like, it's gross. It's so hot out. I'm in the garage finishing up, cleaning up the garage. And I go, man, it's way too hot. I'm going to go get us some sodas. I'll be back. I come back. When I was going to get sodas, I opened the back of the door and just checked again because I was like, man, this truck is still wet. Lift up my WeatherTech mat, put my hand into the carpet, soaking wet. Soaking wet. Water, like when I push down, water comes up.
Oh, no.
So
and I'm like,
was it getting around the mat? It wasn't going through the mat. It was probably falling in the gaps.
Yeah. So it went all over. So it was on the mat, under the mat. So here's what happened. So I head back home. Like, oh my gosh, the truck is soaking wet. Uh-huh. Yeah. I reach into the third row, feel the carpet. It's dry. So it's only the back half behind the third row. Good. Yeah. I get back home, pull into my driveway, into the garage because the kids and wife aren't home yet. Pull it in, open the doors, pull everything out, grab my vacuum, and just start sucking up water. Just, just sucking it up.
Yeah.
Right?
Zamboni is what they call that.
So I'm pulling all this water out of the carpet. I then, after I get it all sucked out, I go back over it a second time, check the vacuum, make sure there's water in there, that it's pulling it out. And I'm like, all right, cool. I then put a towel down on the thing, a dry towel. It gets wet. It's that much water in there. Vacuum it a second time. Suck up even more. This time I'm going slow. I'm pulling. Yeah. Just like putting this, pressure. Putting pressure down, trying to get as much of the water out.
Yeah.
Then I put the towel down, hop in. Got my headlamp on, my scan grip headlamp. Pop that thing on, start looking around.
Right.
Where's this water coming from? Pull open the door. There's a little pocket with a jack in the side compartment of the Suburban. Look inside there. Is there any water pooling? Feel the carpet. It's dry up towards the front. I'm like, So then I pull the trim panel below the back doors, right? I got those cargo doors. I've got the trim panel. Pull that down. Water drips out of it.
Ooh.
It's got condensation upside underneath. Pull the side C pillars on the Suburban, or D pillars, I guess these would be. Pull them open. The underlayment sound deadening mats, soaking wet.
Oh no.
So I'm like, crap. Where
is it coming?
So where did it come from? Yeah. Right? My rubber seal, completely dry. Still dust and dirt, all that. I'm trying to think. I'm like, okay, I've got my roof rack. It wouldn't have leaked in through the roof rack. Could it have? Possibly.
Maybe.
But I don't know. I never had that problem before.
No.
Yeah. I replaced the third brake light on top recently, like a month ago. Check the seal. Like, seal's on there. It's on. Like, I unscrewed it, tried to remove it. I couldn't. It's stuck to the roof. I thought, only way water could have gotten under here maybe. So I'm scratching my head. There's some condensation inside the third brake light, meaning it got pretty saturated.
Yeah.
I've got those back D-pillar vents, exhaust vents,
Correct,
Right, yeah.
on the roof. So I'm wondering, did it get in there? Did it make its way through and get in there and work its way down?
Those are designed in a way that they don't
Right.
let water in.
I look with my headlamp on that back fabric. There's a water line on the top back of the headliner that got
Okay.
saturated. So then I'm like, did it come in through the sunroof and slide all the way back and then drip down the back? Because the way the truck is parked in my
correct,
driveway,
yeah.
it's angled.
Oh, it's angled.
So then I thought maybe that's where it came from. But my
you would have
sunroof-
noticed it coming
I
out
didn't
like
open
around
my
the
sunroof.
DVD screen or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
up
Right,
there.
I didn't open my sunroof. So then I'm like, was it because I washed the truck on Friday? And then I remember I climbed on the roof and scrubbed the roof, and I said, no, the sunroof was closed on Friday. Was it Saturday with the torrential downpour, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I had a tote in the backyard that I had brought out to put the pool into, to fold up our pool and put it in.
Yeah.
And I left it out there because I was still dumping the thing. It was sitting directly in my patio, not under anything, has 4 inches of water in it.
Oh, wow.
Filled it up. Just the rain.
Jeez.
So I'm like, it had to have been that torrential downpour that completely saturated the back of my Suburban, busted in somewhere in that seal, and then completely leaked it into the back. So pulled the Suburban in, rolled all the windows down, closed it up last night, let it dry as best I can. It's parked. I drove it today so I could keep the heat on the back, on the floor, the fan on the floor. Drove it in today. It's sitting in the parking lot. Windows are cracked on it. So
bake.
hopefully it'll dry out a little bit, but really frustrating, very strange,
Yeah.
very odd.
When you can't locate
Just
it.
couldn't figure out how. And then last night we put the kids to bed,
What
just
you
hung
should
out,
do,
watched
leave
some
those
TV.
trim panels off next time it rains, or maybe next time you wash, have like Augie in the car, and then put it on like the shower setting on your
Yeah.
hose, and then just start soaking the car down.
Yeah.
And then tell him whenever he sees water coming through.
Yeah, very strange. I don't know what it was, but yeah, something like probably the drainage from the sunroofs got clogged too. Probably something like that. Very strange, but it was nice to get a storm here. That was really nice to get
Yeah.
that. I mean, we
Grass
needed
Change
it.
the scenery. I
Thank
like it.
God, my grass
It-
needed it.
Well, we had a ton of smoke, a ton of pollen.
Yeah.
It's been
It needed
endless.
to be washed. Everything needed to be
feels.
washed off to get all that pollen out of the trees, get all the
Clean
smoke
a little
knocked
the
down.
roads, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
give it a
Cleaned
nice
everything
scrub.
up. Yeah. Then, so Sunday night, we just kind of hung out. I was checking my email. I got an email saying so-and-so wants to connect with you. So I'm like, that's strange. And the email is from 23andMe, where you guys all know, famously, I found out I was 6% Mexican.
Yeah. Only 6%.
Only 6% when I was raised my whole life to think I was 50% Mexican. So
Kind of threw you.
yeah. So I was wondering what this was. So I open it up, and the guy writes and says, "Hey, I was born in 73 in Boise. Excuse me. I was born in 1973 in Boise. I moved to Pocatello, and I was adopted. Want to know how you and I are related." So I click on how we're related. We're first cousins.
Oh, wow.
So I go,
Usually, you know your first
that's
cousins.
you know most of your first cousins,
Yeah, it's
right? So
pretty
this
close.
means that they're your parents' siblings' kids,
Yeah.
right? So I'm like, now I do have an uncle who is a bit of a black sheep of the family.
Uncle Bruce?
Yes.
Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. Sorry. Sorry.
Outed.
Sorry. I know.
So-
Out it.
So
I just, yeah.
So the question was, whose child
Yeah.
could this be? So I called my dad, gave him the
Yeah.
rundown. My dad goes, "Oh, I know exactly who that is. Awesome. Reach out to him."
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, okay, all right." So I reached out to the guy,
Like, how do I not
found
know
him on
this guy?
Facebook, started looking him up. Looks exactly like my cousins.
Yeah.
Like I saw, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this
Definitely
is so
related.
crazy."
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to hear back from him. So hopefully he'll back so I can start talking to him and
Ask him
tell
what
him
he's
hi
into.
and-
Ask him. He's like, yeah. So no, I have a forge at my house, and I'm into
Yeah.
this.
So
this,
he
and
lives
this.
in Salt Lake and he's an accountant.
Oh,
So I found that out.
Maybe
But-
he's the business version of Levi.
But it's but anyway, it's pretty cool to meet. And I know what would be one of my cousins was the same way. basically.
So your cousins might have a brother, is basically what you're saying.
He has three other brothers.
But they would have a brother they didn't know about.
Yes. So
that's pretty cool.
And the youngest one, who's a year older than me, was the same thing. Like his mom left and took him away and basically said like, oh yeah, you don't have a dad and you don't have anybody. And then when he was like 12 or 13, he goes, I want to know who my dad is. And so she goes, well, here's his number. You can give him a call. Here's his mom's number. You can give her a call and see if he wants to do anything. And my uncle did the right thing. It was like, yes, please. I've been waiting for you. Come meet me. Like, let's hang out. And he was like 13 at the time. He's 42 years old now.
Yeah.
So for the last 30 years, he's been able to have a relationship with his dad. He's got 2 boys. So he's been able to take his boys to see his dad, and they've gone on trips together and stuff. So for him, it was huge because all of a sudden he found out he had uncles and cousins and all this stuff. But at the time, so who knows? It might be the same for this guy. I don't know. I just reached out to him, said, "Yeah, please, let's hook up. Here's my phone number. Give me a call." So anxiously awaiting to talk to him and get to know him. But that was my weekend. So pretty crazy little
cool,
bump at the end of the night. Like
You've had a couple of those now.
I have. That's the weird thing, Dane. I've had a couple of weird ones. But I was on the other side of the family. That was on the other side. On my mom's side of the family. So that was crazy. That was fun.
So they're tied right now, but who's going to be the tiebreaker?
I don't have any of these experiences. I don't know if I'm necessarily asking for them. I just think that'd be interesting. It would be interesting.
Funny joke. My dad literally said that. He didn't want to get his DNA done to do that because he's like, I'm worried that I'll get in trouble for something that my older brother did.
Oh, how funny.
So suddenly it comes up as like Interpol with like a word with you.
Yeah, that's literally what he like. That's basically what he always joked about. So I was like, so remember when he said that? Here you go. But it was pretty fun.
No, that's great though. I mean, it's definitely an interesting story.
Pretty wild.
Look forward to seeing what the guy's like.
Yeah, I am too. So all right. Who's next?
So, you want to do yours or should I do mine?
Dane, go for it. What do you got?
All right. So, mine was pretty simple. I concur on all the points about the weather. It's been weirdly humid here. Even though it wasn't as hot, it felt nasty in its own way. It felt like being in Florida for a minute there. And I did post a meme on my Instagram story that basically said, like, when it's 110 or 114 degrees here and you talk about heat, totally just unsolicited, a person randomly from Arizona will appear and tell you, heat, huh? You don't know real heat. And then all of a sudden a person from Florida will appear to that person and say, at least it's a dry heat. And then it turns into that. So, true. I saw that happen with Dead Pedal right here in the comments about laughs and Floridian. Trust me, I know. It's predictable, dude. But anyway, you're not wrong. It is like that. But as far as other things go, Friday, straightforward, not really much to say there. But on Saturday, I worked here at the store.
Yeah.
Just kind of managed stuff while it was getting a little gloomy outside. And I was sitting at my desk here working on some, what?
Just the dead pedal. I'm that
Floridian. Yeah. It me. Yes. And then G. Davis popping in with the Anthony's 23andMe contact was Portuguese mega pop star Esmeralda.
That sounds awesome.
Wonderful. That sounds great.
It does.
So on Saturday, I was sitting here at my desk working on the back end of some future videos coming up and everything, and I got a call from my dad, and I was kind of surprised because I thought they were just checking in. They were supposed to be going up north to hang out for the weekend and just like get away, for a while. Yeah. And I get a message. He tells me they hadn't left yet. And I'm just like, oh, no, what now? And that's when he goes, well, bring a trailer. Like, we're going to be listing the Subaru there and everything. I'm like, yeah, what? And he goes, you ever, like, do you or anyone you know, like, actually know what it's like to buy something off there? And I'm just like, oh, no. So, yeah, he was looking at something. And he'd recently been talking about some cars because they've driven SUVs forever. Like my dad's been Suburban guy.
Your dad is Suburban.
Forever. He is Suburban.
He's owned father.
He's Suburban
owned like 5 Suburbans. He is a Suburban father. Yes.
I am Suburban number 4.
Yes. So he's no stranger to large SUVs. And my mom, she drives the shorter Yukon. He drives the Yukon XL. So more or less the same deal. And they've driven those for a long time. And he has the Rag Cobra, which is cool. But my mom also didn't realize that when he got the Red Cobra, she
couldn't
wasn't going to
drive
be able
it.
to drive it.
She likes to rally.
Because she thinks it'd be cool, but
Yeah.
at the same time, she's also
She
like,
wants to bang gears.
I
Your
don't
mom
really
wants to get in there
know about
and
that.
just
So
Well, ever since she went drifting at SEMA, she is
Yeah.
crazy.
Sure.
Yeah, no, she's in love with
motorsports
drifting.
crazy.
So I guess the main thing to say is I kind of aided and abetted them in
Dane.
purchasing a vehicle on Bring a Trailer this week.
Oh,
They did
okay.
not. They
And I kept it
purchased-
a secret until now.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. They purchased a vehicle?
A bid and won
What?
on Bring a Trailer.
Holy cow.
What?
I'm going to have Nick pull up the listing now because you're going to laugh at what it is.
Oh my god!
I'm very excited to
It's
see.
a Subaru. Oh my god!
My dad is joining
An
the Jaguar
F-Type.
family.
No
and
F-Type.
my mom
Yes.
is too. So
Yes.
super excited.
Oh, your mom loved
they
that one when it
they
came in.
gave it a lot of thought, and
Yeah,
what they were
she
like is
really
like,
liked
we're
it.
not getting any younger.
Yeah.
And my dad and mom have wanted to have like just a fun car
Yeah.
to drive.
Yeah.
That's not an
That
not
both
a
of
tank,
them could drive.
You know.
Yeah.
So basically, this is something my mom can drive. She could take Cooper in it. Yes, it will get used, but you know
Yeah.
what? That's fine. And they've seen how much I love mine and
Yeah.
what a great deal I got on it. So they thought maybe if we do this too,
Well,
because
and
Dane
our-
knows a lot about these
Yeah.
now, so we can
Yeah.
ask him questions.
And our 401k specialist brought his into the studio.
And that is
And
precisely
that's when
why my
I
mom
remember
became
she
obsessed with him
fell
afterwards.
in love with it. Yeah.
She really,
Wow.
really
Yeah.
wanted to get a hold of
What
it.
a
Awesome.
cool
So
looking
basically,
car.
I
So we
know
have two
very
Jaguars?
it's all relative. Very expensive looking car, very nice car, but it's not nearly as expensive as some other potential things down the road they might be interested
Right,
in.
yeah.
So, at this rate, this
Jag swag. There
this
you go. Dan
really
Fennell.
fit the bill.
That's a
This was
perfect
something
Jag
that
swag,
they're very
dude.
excited about.
Jag swag. I like that.
So yeah, they're extremely excited.
Yeah.
But
Does
yeah.
that have the LED lights that go around the outside? Oh, that's
Yep.
cool.
So this is an F-Type R, so it's the 550 horse version. It's
Jeez.
all-wheel drive. So
Oh, nice.
basically, it
That'll
has
be
the
good.
exact same drivetrain as my car,
with-
but
but
tuned a little
all-wheel
differently.
drive.
It's a little newer, and it has an 8-speed instead of a 6-speed like mine has. So it's
Yeah.
a newer transmission. So
Yeah.
with all the all-wheel drive, it won't slip as much.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like
They can
BMW,
drive
where it's a
that. They can take
rear-biased
that
all-wheel
up.
drive.
They'll
What's
be able
that?
to take that up to the cabin.
Exactly.
if
It
they
can be an
want to. They
all-weather,
can- yeah.
like really
So
fun
where
touring
is it
car.
located, and are we going on a road trip?
It's
How do we get
located in Newport Beach. It has
Okay.
27,000 miles on it.
Wow.
So it's
Nice.
basically like a new car. It's a 2017. And very, very fun.
Yeah,
David Cervantes,
they-
why don't they just turbo the Yukon?
They should do that.
See, that's also a great idea, but it's not as nimble. So they wanted
Well, we
something
gotta
a little
lower it.
more
We gotta
nimble.
lower it a little bit.
I mean, you
do
could.
that.
You certainly
Very
could. But
cool.
basically, they're very excited. I'm super happy for them because they don't treat themselves.
No,
like
they
that
don't.
much. They really like for anybody who's going must be nice. I get it.
No,
I
you
understand.
got to remember when we all started, they weren't paying themselves.
No,
They weren't actually taking a salary from the rag company.
No.
So when we all started, I mean, it was
they were taking the hit early on, so
Yeah.
hopefully somewhere down the line
Yeah.
they could do something they'd enjoy. So
Yep. I
this
remember
is
that.
that first step.
yeah, that is cool.
Super cool.
But yeah,
Dig
I'm
it.
super excited for him. So we originally
Davis, does this mean your mom will be getting high mileage on me soon? Should I go and go?
nice. So basically, I wanted to say we were originally talking about
Yeah.
them possibly going down and turning it into a little road trip. For
Yeah.
them. Like they could do what I did,
Oh,
where I
yeah,
flew to
great
Texas
idea.
and I drove it up. We were thinking you could go down to California and drive it up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it sounds like if they go to this guy, the guy who is selling it is like a used dealer who deals in like exotics and nicer cars, stuff like
okay.
that. And he's basically a car flipper.
Yeah.
But they talked to him for a little bit, and he gave them like a walk around and everything. The car is immaculate right
Yeah.
now, as far
Yeah.
as that can go. So they're really excited. But unfortunately, if they showed up in person, they would have to pay California state tax. Whereas if you have it shipped up here, then it's Idaho state tax. So
Ooh, wow. look at
if
that
you know
interior.
what the rates are, there's
Yeah.
an obvious incentive to, well, we can have a road trip some other time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, does it out,
basically
is it that big of a difference? Because getting it shipped to Boise is probably $800-900.
a little more than that. But yeah, it's like
But
it's
is
like
it, but is the
$1,500.
difference in California sales tax to Idaho state tax worth that difference of shipping?
And that's true. But
Because that's the question. Is it
for the
$500
pri-
they're
I think
talking
it
about?
is. I think it
for the
is. I
price
think
in
it's
this
worth
car, yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good.
Very
So
nice.
basically, they got it all set up. It has the things I wish my car had, like radar cruise control and
Yeah.
stuff, which is nice. But they're gonna love this thing
Yeah.
so much.
Oh, yeah.
I just reaffirmed to them like, nope, you're making a good decision. You won't regret it. Trust me. you'll have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So they're excited, and my mom's just really excited to have something she can drive.
Yeah.
And I'll probably bring it to work here pretty soon. So whenever it shows up, I have no idea when that happens, but I'm super happy for them.
No,
that
it's
they're
what she wanted,
enjoying
because we
something.
kept talking that there was a good possibility they would have, like, your dad was kind of holding off on the bring a trailer on the Subaru with us, because he kept, like, making out, like, well, your mom wanted something. I could probably, like he was just going to keep the Subaru.
Yeah.
And then give us, like, that was, like, he kept kind of hinting that, like, well, Carolyn could drive this. This would be, she might like this. We should let her drive it.
That'd be way more fun for
And the
Carolyn.
Subaru, don't get me wrong, is a lot of fun. But what I was telling
we
them,
made it
because
too nice.
He was looking at, like, Porsche 911 stuff is what he's, like, really interested in. But at the same time, he's also like, I just keep looking and reading and stuff. It seems like you have fun, but it's more of like a 10/10 kind of car where if you push it, you get the most fun out of it. And I told him, like, the Jag is a muscle car. Like, you could be going 5 miles an hour and you're still having fun. Like, it's noisy, it's, all that stuff. So you'll get the drama out of it that you're looking for in, like, a fun car that your truck doesn't do.
Yeah.
And this way you can kind of have some of that and enjoy it. And
exactly.
I'm excited because my mom actually has
Yeah, no, that's
she
the
can
biggest
enjoy
thing.
now.
She's been wanting something fun, and we've all known that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, G. Davis looking forward to seeing it in your MT booth.
I think he's going to take it to Lupo first thing to get it PPF.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
good call.
the goal. But so that's what's going on there. I was very excited. I wanted to share it, but I kept it
that's exciting.
on the
I'm
down
excited. I
low
bet your
until
dad's
we
pumped.
got here.
Very,
so.
Very
very
excited.
happy for them, and they absolutely deserve it 100%. I mean,
Absolutely.
They need to get out, enjoy that kind of stuff.
A lot of it was even like, the first thing was getting the spot for them to, like, escape, because your dad, he is a workaholic.
If you let him, he won't stop.
No, and
So-
then your mom is like, let's go take the weekend, and he's like, hold on, I gotta answer an email, and she's like, it's
focused on
Sunday at 2:00, and he's like, I gotta get it done. Like, that's what they've always been, and so it's nice to see them finally being able to step back, being able to take some time for themselves by going up to their cabin and doing stuff, and then to see him being able to them get something like this, it's super cool, super fun for them.
So I'm really happy to see that, and I can't wait to see it in person.
Yeah.
And
Get
a
that
little
thing looking
detailing on
sharp.
it, probably is the way it'll go.
Yeah.
But apart from that, that was my Saturday. After I helped them with that, and we locked it in, they were in a bidding war with another guy for a little bit who definitely wanted it, like, bad.
Yeah.
And they edged
Remember
him
how we
out.
talked to your dad about bring a trailer and how we watched that Supra go on Friday?
Yeah. So
and he was like, really?
He
And
didn't
then he
quite
got all
understand, and then he experienced it, and I'm like, make sure the bidding works, because he's like, I haven't created an account yet, and there was like an hour to go, and I'm like, let's make sure that works.
Yeah,
So first
yeah.
of all, I don't know what the wait time is, but you got to do that now. And he's like, oh, okay. He starts filling out the stuff, and it was like all last minute, but luckily got him in there, and then he
Wow.
starts bidding against this guy, and a little back and forth for a minute, but it went out for a fair
Nice.
price. Everybody's happy in that situation. I
Good.
think. But apart from that, I was trying to work out a little car selling of my own.
Yeah.
Because now I've got that
all
awesome
those-
Tacoma.
Yeah.
And I don't really need it now, basically.
true. Yeah, you
So
don't.
it's a 2020 Tacoma with less than 8,000 miles
Yeah.
on it. Somebody's got to want one of those.
Come on, it's a great truck.
It's in excellent shape. And
There's heated
it's
seats.
heated seats, leather interior, CarPlay, Android Auto, all that stuff. It's got running boards, the whole. Anyway, I'm not trying to sell it to you necessarily, unless you're interested. In which case, DM me. But yeah, feel free to reach
But
out
you
to me on
started taking
Instagram.
some bids.
But I was just curious. So after the day was over here working, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to throw in a few quick things on Vroom and Carvana and CarMax.
See what
And
you can
even
get.
Kelly Blue Book, the instant cash offer. Like, I don't normally use KBB for values because I feel like they undersell it a lot of times. But I did it anyway. And
Yeah.
sure enough, my CarMax one was the best. That was like 42 just
Yeah.
about. And then everyone else was like around 38, 39.
Okay.
But I need to do a lease buyout. So
Yeah.
a private party comes in. It's kind of a weird situation if you're trying to sell a vehicle that's leased, because it involves some trust to where you pay me, I pay the company, the bank essentially, buy them out of the lease, and then they send me the title and I give you the title. Like, that's how that process has to work.
Right now,
and that requires a lot of trust.
Correct, and you are in a
So-
sticky situation with that.
Yeah,
Yes.
so not the easiest thing to try and sell a lease car unless you go through like CarMax or one of these other places where they're like, oh, we handle that, no question. You get a check, go on your merry way. And it's as simple as that.
Which is enticing. It is enticing.
It's very enticing. And that CarMax offer, honestly, I'm going to have a hard time beating that because when I did the KBB thing, I got contacted like within seconds of submitting it. There must be somebody just sitting at the phone with the email open, like waiting. Yeah. They at Corwin Ford and Kendall Ford both reached out immediately. And they were like, hey, we're interested in your truck. And I was like, oh, and then I got the other dealership saying that. So I'm like, oh, maybe a potential bidding war. This could be great. Not necessarily. So, I mean, the CarMax offer is the best it's going to be. But basically, the rest of my Saturday, I spent going first to Corwin, who are actually very nice. I like dealing with those guys. And it's a very different experience selling your car to a dealership as opposed to buying one where you feel like, oh, God, these guys. Selling it, you kind of have all the cards if you want them. So it's nice in a way. But they were clearly interested. They just weren't interested for the price because they made the choice to ask me, like, what's your magic number? What would it take for, you to not even question it, walk out of here today? You would just sell. What's that number? And I'm like, well, honestly, it would be probably 43 or 44. I mean, because my offer is 42 over here at CarMax. I got to do better than that. And he's just like, oh. So he runs back. He does the thing, talk to the manager, the whole deal. Comes back. He's like, that Toyota dealership up the way, they have similar truck to yours, not identical, has like 200 fewer miles, but they're able to list it as a certified pre-owned, and we're a Ford dealer, so we can't do that with the Toyota, and they're selling it for what you're asking us to buy it from you for. And I'm like, I get it. That's not going to work. That's all right. So they said, sorry, and then they gave us some options of stuff I could do, and it was all things I'd already done, so I was like, I appreciate it, but they were cool. I'll go back there with the Ford. But Then I went over to Kendall. I'm going to say, I didn't enjoy my experience at Kendall as much.
I don't think anybody ever has.
Something about the way it was in there, especially because I was in their used car store thing.
Nobody likes Kendall.
There was something just off. Like, it was weird. I usually go to a car dealership and you get swarmed by people, and they're just like, all right. Which for some people that's like, no, thank you. I don't want all this. For other people, they're like, great service.
Yeah, what I used to do is I'd drive out to the middle of the dealership. I'd park all the way out to employee parking. Yeah. But I would circle the lot first, and then I would try and find my way out to there. And then I'd get out, and I'd see which salesman would actually get off their butts from smoking walk out to make the effort.
And you're like, all right, this guy's hungry. This guy gets it. Cool, we'll work with him.
He watched me and followed me all the way out here.
Yeah. So in this case, I just followed up on the text, said, hey, I'm going to be here a little early because the other appointment I had before obviously went a little short since they didn't buy it. And I told him as much. I'm like, well, unless they make me an offer I can't refuse, I'll make sure I come over here at this time. And they're like, okay, great. I said, all right, I'm on my way over. And when I got there, everybody there could not be bothered. It was just the sense of just like, okay, we're a little busy right now.
They get paid hourly only there.
Well, and they were just kind of like,
it's commission based at all.
No, it's whatever, dude. Just have a seat. We'll get to you. And I got it a little bit because I was like, oh, I'm an hour early. They weren't ready for me,
Doesn't
whatever.
matter.
But at the same time, I'm also like, this is a car
Ken knows
dealership.
the Red Robin
if you really want
dealers,
it, you're on it, man. Thank you, G. So I'm not blowing their spot up necessarily right now, but I'm just saying there was a noticeable difference in the way the service worked,
energy level,
one versus the other. So. Make of that what you will.
Went to my friends over at Larry Miller Honda. I really actually like them over there. Really nice people. That's where my friend Sal works.
Nice. Sal.
Yes. Call him Cousin Sal.
Nice.
He'll get you hooked up. To a real nice 1999 Honda Civic or a 2017 Hyundai Elantra.
Don't make it a sale. Make it a Sal. Okay. So, at any rate, had that experience. He literally just I was sitting at the table. He was like, hey, can I have your keys? And I look up and I'm like, okay, you're an employee. So at first I'm just some stranger asking you for keys, but he didn't give me any other info than that. He went out, looked at the truck, walked around, came back, and goes, yeah, so best we can do is 38.7. That's pretty much where we're at. And I'm like, cool, it's not going to work for me. My buyout is higher than that, so sorry. And he's just like, okay. And I'm like, yeah, that's all right. Have a good one. I just leave. And it's just the vibe was not great there. So, between the two, I prefer Corwin if I had to go back for anything again. But after that, I realized, okay, I have until the 6th to cash in on the CarMax thing. That's how long that's valid for. So I'm throwing it out there to private parties to see if anybody's interested. But at the same time, I know it's more work. It's kind of a weird situation doing a lease buyout. So honestly, I'll probably end up taking the CarMax.
Here's what I
thing in
like.
the end.
Dane doing all this legwork sparked Gabe's curiosity.
It did.
Gabe also has a Tacoma. And he goes, oh, I have a lot more equity than Dane does in mine.
His is a year
I'm
older,
gonna put
but it's a
mine up.
manual.
I'm going to put mine up, and it's Cavalier Blue, so it's a little rare.
Yeah.
So he's going to see. He's going to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
He's seeing if he can maybe get some shekels for it.
I feel like I need to start making vehicle moves, Levi.
Destroying
that
vibes.
pedal's solid.
Yeah.
It's kind of forward, but yeah, close enough. But I'm gonna say I think it's going to start making car moves, Levi.
You and me?
You and me. What do you think? 2001 Dodge Ram 1500.
Yeah.
What do you think my Carvana quote is on that?
I don't know, but I think you could probably get $700 right now.
Honestly, I was surprised. Everybody's like, yeah, Carvana's making stupid offers right now. And I plugged it in, and like my truck on paper is about as desirable as
let's see how much
get for
after we get
cheaper
done
ones.
with this. I'm going to put in the Elantra on
I
Carvana.
want to see what you
it
get,
says.
because I've heard mixed results. In my case, there must be just like a glut of Tacomas right now, because they're like, yeah, 38.7.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
yeah,
no.
Thanks, David. That's what I'm thinking too will happen. Is I'll put in the Elantra, they'll say $250 and be like, oh, never mind.
Are there more zeros?
Well, one thing about here in Boise, though, the amount of literally, guys, the amount of Forerunners and Tacomas is insane.
Yeah, that
like,
and Subarus.
It is insane. Like do you know how many times I'm driving and I think I see my wife on the road?
Yeah.
But there's just that many gray Forerunners out there on the TRD black wheels.
Yeah. Well, you see, that's why they buy them, is anonymity from their spouses.
Dude, it is.
Dodge Ram Chargers, heck yeah. That'll be awesome.
Oh my God, the Dodge Ram Chargers are awesome. Have you seen those?
Those are awesome. I love those.
But no, there's just so many Tacomas and so many Forerunners because they're great vehicles and they're great for Boise. It's just I can see how,
it's a flooded market.
It's a flooded market.
So basically,
but that's why CarMax works.
If I'm smart, I just do the CarMax thing, and there's one less vehicle in my driveway. No more car payment.
Oh, that's $250 for the Ram.
Dean, what makes me sad is that that I used to want a Tacoma.
I know.
I wanted the new Tacoma because I like the boxy look on the fender flares.
Yeah. No, literally everything about that truck is fantastic. I have no complaints other than the automatic transmission tuning is wonky. It's weird on these newer ones compared to older Tacomas I've driven. There's just something strange. It feels gutless, and then suddenly, the power kicks in. Even if you're using the throttle very carefully, just the programming is weird. And the other part is, it's just boring to drive.
Yep,
and I'm a guy who needs something more stimulating to drive.
I thought I wanted one until I drove Dane's. And then I also got to drive. I got to drive Gabe's as well. Yeah. And then I drive the Forerunner all the time. Guys, I am bored to death.
This is something
I am so bored in those cars. Nothing could entertain me enough. Mm-hmm. I have more fun in the Dodge Ram because it's got that exhaust on that 5.2 V8, right? And it just feels sketchier in a fun way.
Yeah.
No,
but I mean, honestly, this may blow some minds. My Honda Element was way more fun to drive than my Tacoma.
Well,
and for whatever reason,
Yoshi's right about that. However, Yoshi, the other thing you got to remember is they always have customers. There's always, and they talk to each other. All the dealers talk to each other.
Yeah.
So regardless, it's about being able to buy a car that they know they can sell, even if it's for $500. They could buy your truck and sell it to another dealership next door for $500. They're going to do it.
As a last resort, I am going to go up to Peterson and give that a shot because I got the truck from Edmark. I can't go back there. But if I go to Peterson, I can at least try and see if they're interested in doing a certified
The other thing with CarMax, though, is CarMax is like the Walmart of dealerships. Yeah. So regardless,
they'll just ship it to an area that does have interest.
Yeah, they'll ship it to another dealership
where they can get more for it.
And all they do is their big thing is tell us the car you want, tell us the color you want, and we'll see if we have one of those. Yeah. Tell us the options you want.
There's like a dealer transfer fee of like $150 or something to move one car from a total other state over to here. And then
because they're like, hey, we've got a person who wants to buy a beige Subaru Crosstrek. That's how Rebecca got hers. They found one in like Pennsylvania and shipped it across the country to give to her. She's like, I just wanted a manual beige Crosstrek. And they're like, boom, here you go. We got one.
That is the stereotypical CarMax customer in a nutshell right there. They want the most
They don't
plainest,
care. They're
Janest
gonna,
cars.
they don't even care. They're going to take it,
Yeah.
and they'll sell it at one of their dealerships, or they'll put it in a warehouse, a central warehouse, and they'll just wait until someone comes in and goes, "I need a silver."
But yeah, I'm being very clear.
Tacoma.
My truck,
Well, we got one.
When I got it, I specifically chose the truck because I knew it was built for resale. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Silver
silver.
with
It's
black
the most
interior.
widely,
Yeah, easy peasy.
chosen color. Yeah. So it was kind of done that way. Anyway, that was my Saturday. On Sunday,
Thanks, Deadpool.
yes, you're not wrong, Dead Pedal. I kind of agree. Sometimes cars will surprise you. You can enjoy it. Doesn't make you any less of a car enthusiast. If you're enthusiastic about it, that's where the enthusiasm comes from.
Hey, Steven, how you doing? Hey, David.
If you're enjoying a CVT, though, I do kind of wonder. Unless you're on a snowmobile. So on Sunday, I decided the Bergie has been summoned. On Sunday, I kind of stayed in for the first part in the morning just because it was like not great outside. It was that hot mugginess again. And I got
71 with 89% humidity Sunday morning.
I got Express Cafe, but I minimized my interaction with the outside world. I put on Crocs, which I never do.
Dang.
God bless
I
you,
wore
Dane.
Crocs to get in the F-350 and drove to
Nice.
freaking Express Cafe. And went through there, got myself a breakfast sandwich, delicious, awesome, with a pecan waffle, as well, very nice.
What'd you get for Liz?
And Liz got the breakfast Sammy as well. She loves.
She's been
those.
on a breakfast sandwich
Yeah,
kick lately,
she's
and
kicking
Dane was
it.
telling us that, and we'll go cover that later. But I will admit, the breakfast sandwiches are delicious. Left me wanting more, not more in terms of theoretically, but I just wanted another sandwich.
Yeah. No,
I could
like,
eat two.
That's
of
one
those
of the great
things.
things about Eggman and Earl. They make sure
Here
that
we
the
go.
portions are large and in charge.
The
That's
Crocs
one thing
were in
we should've
sport
done.
mode, by the way.
Oh,
when I
before we left.
drive, the Crocs are in sport mode.
Oh,
I
yeah, you
flip
need
down
that
that lever
control.
because I need that. You don't want your foot
Right.
slipping out of the
Yeah.
Croc
You need
when
that
you're on the
aerodynamic,
pedal. That is a bad idea.
Yeah.
You end up with the old Toyota, the floor mat's stuck to the gas pedal situation. You don't
I
get
get
that.
that all the time. I love it.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Well, and that's also like the Audi 5000 from
I
the
right?
80s also had that whole thing blown out of proportion. But anyway, that was my morning. And then I got, I saw Monib Nain, a local here in the car scene. Really cool guy, friends with Jimmy, among other folks here.
Yeah.
He was posting in his story, hey, it's my one day off because he works at St. Luke's, so he's like busy all the time.
Yeah.
He does like their medical imaging. So he's really, really smart, sharp guy. And he was
he
just
did
like,
your imaging on your stomach.
He did when I had my issue. He was the guy running the machine as I
Yeah.
went through it.
Fellow Miata enthusiast.
Yes, he is a Miata enthusiast, so that's how I met him back then, was when I had my Miata. But basically, he still has that Miata. He named it Pearl, and it's a cute little white Miata with the beige top, and it's lowered, but it has nice wheels. Anyway, he's got that. His dad was the one driving because we went out to get some rollers and shots for fun because he was feeling extra inspired on his day off. He wanted
He's
to
like,
go
"Dang,
out
let's do this."
and do some photography because he kind of does that on the side, but he's really good, and he's actually been tasked. Like, he went down to Austin, Texas for something or other, just went and talked to like a luxury dealership there. Next thing he knew, he was shooting like official photography for Aston Martin and Bentley and these other companies down in Austin just because he was visiting there. And he's like, I can't believe it. Nobody else went up and talked to him. They said this is the first time anybody's ever done this. So so he's kind of turned that into a little niche for himself. It's just going to a fancy
Well,
dealership
side
and
gig.
saying, I'll do your photography. But basically, he was itching to go and get some, but he also knew it rained recently. The roads are going to be a little funky. So we went up bogus, and his dad drove the Miata, and he sat on the back bench in the Miata, which is not a seat, and basically photo, because, convertible is like the best photo car. But had a lot of fun doing that, got a lot of
So where'd you
stuff.
sit?
So I was driving the Jag in front of them, and then behind them, and then he got off on the side of the road and got photos of me through the trees, and like.
Oh, he was photoing
see.
you. I see.
Yeah, so we'll see how it all turns out, but should be cool. I'm
That's
looking
cool.
forward to seeing. And he was loving it, which he made it very clear. He goes, yeah, sometimes for like a client, when somebody's like, how is it? And you're just kind of like, it's good, whatever. No, in this case, he was like, his mind was blown and he was loving it. So I'm like, hey, he's enthusiastic. Good sign.
Yeah.
But
Heck yeah.
that was basically my evening. And then I
nice.
went to the new Winco, which was Actually, very nice.
Did you get
the
a
one out
pizza?
in Meridian. Yeah, got myself.
Did you do
some
any?
snacks.
Did you cash out any?
cash out
vouchers?
any
Any
I
cash
did not
vouchers?
do any money orders
Oh,
this
money
time.
orders, okay.
Sorry, those are strictly for cheap cars.
Oh, I see.
Speaking of cheap cars, I'm going to use this opportunity to transition over to our resident car lowering expert, who definitely would never screw up such a thing. Anthony, how was your weekend?
Hey, Dane, thanks for having me. So, yes, so Friday night, Friday, I remember was pretty low key actually. It was just honestly this weather, man. Not weather man. This weather. People, the weather man. So the weather has finally started to, dude. It drains me.
Yeah.
I've realized that the heat, as much as like the wintertime, I look forward to summer. I don't actually look forward to summer. I look forward to the first 60-degree day we have, and I live the happiest and I'm the most productive in that 60 to like 85-degree weather.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm a go-getter all the time. But for the last 2 weeks, it's been 95 plus.
Oh, last
3 weeks.
last 5 weeks.
5 weeks, yeah.
It's been over 95.
The 100-degree days, it just finally, for some reason I'm just drained, dude. I get in my car, I get home, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Like he's like, oh, do you want to go out in the garage? You want to wash your car? I'm like, nope, don't even want to wash my car.
Your motivation is shot.
My motivation's shot. Like, I don't want to drive to the gym. I don't want to drive to the grocery store. There things like that. It's just been very unmotivating lately. So I know that Friday night I got home, and I actually think that we gamed. We played a little bit of Forza. We
Sea of Thieves now.
Well, that was on. I think it was on Saturday night.
Oh, okay,
but Friday night we played Forza and had a good time. Nothing too crazy. Saturday, I needed to get a lot of stuff done, and so what I needed to do was work on my project car.
Yeah.
And get some things going. So
Yeah.
I got a set of wheels and tires. I'm not going to say what I got, how I got
Finally.
them, who I got them.
You've been
But
waiting
I
a
went.
minute.
I went down, took those to go get mounted.
Yeah.
On Saturday morning. Yeah, first thing in the morning, got them mounted. Got him back home, and then Jason was going to head over about halfway through the day and help me mount him onto the car. Now, previously, a couple weeks
Do you
ago,
need help mounting wheels and tires on a car?
absolutely not. But
Oh,
he just
okay.
wanted to be there because,
just wanted to come
let's
hang
just
out,
say,
possibly
my
help
friend
you.
Jason
Yeah.
wants to buy my project car.
Oh, okay.
He came there to seriously tell me that. He basically said, "Hey, Anthony, obviously I want to see what the car's going to look like on the wheels, right?"
Uh-huh.
And I said, "Yeah," but he's like, "Do you want to sell it to me though?" And I said, "What?" I'm like, "After all this time, you want to buy the car?" He's like, "Dude, like I really want a clean Honda." And I said,
It's
"Since
because he's
when?
got that nice Corvette. He can't
Since
drive
when?"
it.
So
Because he bought that nice Corvette. He can't drive it.
So he pulled up in his
Yeah.
Z06, right?
Yeah.
And his 2000
Too much of a
We're
head
really
turner.
bad at keeping these cars
It's
safe.
too much of a
guys.
head turner.
Yeah. And so he pulled up in his Z06 and did I say that?
You did.
It did.
You half alluded to
Yeah,
it.
anyways. And I'm like, okay. So he's like, you want to buy your car? And I said, well, you don't want to buy this red car, basically, is what I was trying to say. I
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
you don't want to buy this red car. You want to buy something different, right? So, but I said, save my red car. There might be a future car that you might be able to buy,
Yeah.
maybe after this project series
Yeah.
is over, right? So I can just tell, though, I think he just has the Civic envy on my red car.
Well, yeah, it's
he sees
because-
the Z06 and he thinks, how cool would this
Because-
red Honda look next
Right.
to that?
He got
But he
he got
looks
the
at-
Z06 because
But he's also looking at it as the fact that the Z06 is too much car.
Yeah, so he
Right?
needs to
Yeah,
dial
I'm
back.
going to
He wants
stress for
to
you.
dial
This
it
is a
back.
C7 Z06. That's a 655 horsepower.
Yeah.
That
It's
thing
too much.
has
Anyway,
raw
It'd be the
potency.
same thing for
Correct.
you if you
And
bought something
he
else. You'd be
is
like,
not
I
enjoying
need a
as
middle.
much.
I need something to play with.
yeah. So, anyways, after we had that conversation, I said, okay, that's enough talking about this. Let's actually work on my project car, right? And so let's work on the project car. So, he actually helped me lower my project car.
Wait, so you lowered it again?
No, so we lowered it on coilovers about 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's been lowered ever since.
Yeah, driving on the
or
stock
3
wheels
weeks
and
ago or
tires.
2 weeks ago, whatever it was. But it's been lowered. Driving on the stalkers, and this was kind of the moment where everything comes together with the wheels and
Right.
tires.
See what
right?
it looks like.
And so we put them on, lowered it, look at it. We think, wow, this looks awesome.
Hop in it.
And he's like, let's go get some pictures of it, right? Let's go pull it next to the Corvette.
Wheel it
I
around.
said, yeah, it's basically a Corvette.
Right,
know,
yeah.
So
Literally can't tell. The
as I
difference.
jump in the car and I start backing out of my my garage, right, I realized that the car is not moving like it should. Right, it's basically
some noises coming.
How
from
was it
underneath.
moving?
There was
or
some
was it moving?
friction happening.
Yeah.
And I said, Jason, what's happening right now? He's like, dude, I think you might be too low. And I said, what? Like how low? Because like we looked and you could put your finger. Actually, no, you couldn't put your finger between the front fender and the tire, and you also couldn't put your finger through the rear.
No,
the rear
literally,
fender
they
of the
were
tire.
touching.
So it was touching. So I'm like, am I dragging tire? Am I grinding through my tires? It's like, no, you're not grinding through, but it's a very slow burn. And I said, okay. So I back out, start driving it forward, and it is just. I mean, dude, I'm stressed.
Yeah, you just put these new tires on there.
Wow, Anthony, you really darkened up these wheel wells. They look so fresh and new.
Full of rubber.
Yeah.
I'm like, this car has brand new wheels and tires on it. I cannot be destroying them. So he's like, dude, he's like, we don't have time to raise it. You know, he's like, I don't have time to do this. He's like, I got to get going. But I promised him I would take some pictures of his car, right?
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I'm going to park it. It's content for the cheap car challenge. We'll figure that out later.
Yeah.
Right. So I parked it. I said, I will worry about this at another time.
Yep.
And looks awesome. Cool car.
Can't drive it.
Cool project car. Right.
Oh, no,
So-
it does. It looks good.
It looks good. So I can't drive it though. And so I went out, took a couple of photos of his Z06. He just kind of out in my front area there. He loves them. It's a good looking car. I mean, you don't really have to do a whole lot to make that car look good. It's very aggressive. But got him some cool photos. He was just absolutely jacked up about that. And then he took off, and then Katie came home, and oh my God, you people.
Thanks, G.
Then after that, Katie came home because she was like, let's go see a movie tonight.
Yeah.
And I said, absolutely, let's go see a movie. It was starting to kind of storm.
Yeah.
It was very thunderous looking outside. I said, let's go to a movie. And we drove over to that new Real Theater, absolutely packed. Literally, that Eagle one.
Where's that one?
The one on Eagle, the Real Theater.
At the bottom of the hill.
Chinden and Eagle, the bottom of the hill, Levi.
Oh, that
The
one
new
that
one.
you like going to.
Yeah.
The one you've gone to many times. It's not new, but it's like a year and a half old. that one.
It has literally probably had less than
It's the
100
newest
showings.
theater
It's
around.
It's the newest
18-month old
theater.
one that you've seen the last four movies
Newest
at.
theater.
To us, it's new.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
Where you've seen Cruella.
I guess I have.
What
seen
else
all
have
those.
you seen? You've seen.
Honestly, it's so
saw Mortal Kombat.
it's so
there.
few and far between that it feels like I haven't gone there as much as I have. But I
Honestly,
have.
saw 1917,
You
and
saw
then the
19
next movie I saw was Fast and Furious 9. That's how big
Yeah.
a gap.
Yeah.
Too big of
You
a
saw
gap.
1917 there. Then you also saw Mortal Kombat.
So,
You've seen a lot of movies.
anyway.
there. But yeah, so your
went to
guys'
there.
favorite movie theater.
It was it's the most packed I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
So we drove by. I said, "Hey, what do you think?" And she's like, "No."
Oh.
I'm like, no. I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want to go to her either." So I said, "What would you like to do instead?" Right?
Yeah.
Because there's a Stella's ice cream place there, Boise Juice Co.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Red Bench Pizza.
Oh, yeah,
delicious.
a lot of
Red
great
Bench
things.
Pizza is delicious.
It is, Dane. The wings there, fantastic. But she said that she wanted to go to one of those like yogurt places that are on every corner. Not the Zoomberry, not the creme de la Dane, not
Blue
the.
Cow.
You know how there's like a hundred of these
yeah.
different ones. There's
Toppings and yogurt.
Yeah. CBY?
Pop-up yogurt. No, it's the kind where you get the toppings in the yogurt.
You pour the yogurt into the cup,
one
then
of
you go
those.
get your
Gotcha.
toppings, and it gets weighed.
Yeah.
And she's
There-
like,
there's
"I don't
like
buy us."
100 different ones,
Tell
but
you
they're
what,
all different.
They're all the same.
The one
brands,
I
but
go
they're
to
the
by my
same.
place is called Blue Cow.
Yeah, Blue
also,
Cow is-
also
Yeah.
Justin Pate's favorite.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it? Okay.
I went
Well,
to that one
anyway,
many
so
a
we
time.
go there. I got basically a bowl full of toppings. Lots of cookie dough. It's delicious. And then that night, she said, "I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Do whatever you want." So I said, "Dane, you need to download a game called Sea of Thieves." Right? So Sea of Thieves is essentially a pirate game where you get to play as a pirate and pillage. And you get to build your character and go on a ship, right?
And honestly, it is very much a multiplayer affair. Like
It is,
it doesn't
it is.
work nearly as well by yourself.
We had no idea. Honestly, we downloaded it. It was like 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
It was like 12 a.m. I'm like, "Dan, let's play this game." And he's like, "I don't know."
Like
And
I've known people who played it for years. I just for whatever reason, I was never particularly interested in finding out. And then I actually tried it. I'm like, okay, it's
what
kind
I
of
didn't
fun.
realize is that it is a video game based on actual work. Like you were literally raising a mast, right? You were driving this boat,
right?
And then when you crash into something, you have to repair everything.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's not like you just sit there at the wheel and it lets you control all the other stuff. No, you need a different guy controlling the sail direction and the sail height while that person steers.
It's
and
a
while
crew,
everything
right?
else is going on. And oh, by the way, if somebody's shooting at you, you better hope somebody's on their boat to go man the cannon because you can't.
Oh yeah, no, we're just cruising.
It's work,
cruising
but it's
by an
fun.
island. Start getting cannonballs fired at us. I said, "Dane, turn the boat." We're trying to turn the boat, turn the mast, and everything. We have cannonballs flying through our ship. And he's like, "We're getting hit, right?" I said, "Okay, well, let me go check on the damage."
Because you have to
I
go
go down in the hull
check
of
it
the
out.
boat, right? I am literally 6
Water.
feet in water on this. And I'm like, Dane, I can't even see the holes.
So in your character, you have to pull out a bucket and then you have to pick up the water and throw it off the side of the boat.
It is literally work. It is like not really like a video game.
You're like all tired.
And this is all like made by the same people who used to make like the Donkey Kong games and Banjo-Kazooie and
so
stuff.
like after we did that, I said, all right, Dane, we had a successful pillaging trip. Let's go back to the bar and have a beer. Basically, you can drink yourself to death in this bar and you just throw up on each other. It's hilarious. It's so dumb.
It is kind of great.
It is kind of
Also, I just got a DM from Andrew saying, I'll play Sea of Thieves with you.
Oh, really? Okay. So,
that's
anyways,
awesome.
we had a fun time playing that.
Yeah.
Sunday, which was yesterday. It was yesterday, right? Pretty chill morning. I didn't really do that too much. We went to the griddle. Me and Katie went to go get breakfast, and did that. And then after that, I can't remember what she had to knock out. Finally. The front office that I have been
working on,
hounding her about for over a year. She got it done.
Nice.
Ooh.
Finished. Done.
Finished.
Organized.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. She literally did it all on her own. She said, hey, you got to do something. Stay busy doing what you got to do. I'm going to do this.
Don't interrupt
And I
me.
come back, and she's like, I got a stack of boxes for you, some trash for you to take out, but look at the finished room. A tear was brought to my eye.
Wow.
I literally was like, I couldn't believe
Impressive.
it. It looks so good. I was so proud. So she did a great job, and it looks awesome. So I have to say my IKEA-built furniture in there looks better than ever.
Very nice.
But then we went to go see a movie. That's how we ended our Sunday night. Is we went to go see the movie Old, right?
Oh, that's the M. Night movie, huh?
So the M. Night Shyamalan movie, right?
How M. Nighty was it?
That was pretty M. Nighty, dang. It was very M. Nighty. I don't really know how to say this. It's like a 4, maybe 5 out of 10. But I think
It can't be worse than
there
The
was just some
Happening.
like uncomfortable moments in the movie where I was like, I feel uncomfortable. This is strange, right?
Uncomfortable in a horror movie? What?
But it's not a horror movie. Like the thing is,
Oh,
it
it's
wasn't even really
suspenseful. It's stuff's
Yeah,
never
it's more of a
horror.
It was
thriller.
never- but it wasn't even a
Thriller and
thriller. It was
suspense.
just kind of like semi-suspenseful with a lot of like camera moving of, oh, this happened over here.
Yeah.
Back to, oh, this happened. So it's just a lot of that.
So it's literally the trailer, but a movie.
No, that's it. It's just,
So really, there's not much left to...
no, like if you saw the trailer, like you
I
pretty
saw
much
the
saw the
trailer.
movie. So
You
that's
basically
pretty
watched
much
the movie.
exactly
Okay.
what it is. The reasoning behind the anomaly of the aging of people is like, it's pretty dumb. I mean, like what they did is they would show
Agreed,
like,
dead pedal.
you know when you see like a reveal of like a villain, right? And
He's got 2 really solid ones and
I think
everything
ever
else
since the
is...
town that like he's pretty much done.
well, so
Like
you know how-
Signs in the town or
yeah.
the village.
I was
like
gonna say, the
Village.
town.
Not the town, but the village.
No,
like
Sixth Sense is a classic.
no,
That
I'm
one's great.
saying Sixth Sense,
Sixth Sense
Signs,
and
The
Unbreakable
Village.
to me are his 2
I
best
didn't even
movies.
like Unbreakable.
I
I
didn't
thought he
like the
kinda
sequel to Unbreakable, but the original Unbreakable
came
was-
down
I was
after
okay.
Unbreakable.
I was okay with Unbreakable. I was okay with the Sixth Sense. I was okay with
Signs
the
I
Village.
enjoyed as a kid. I've not watched it recently.
Signs
so I
holds
don't know
up.
if it holds
Signs
Still really
holds
great.
up. Signs
Still-
also holds
still
up.
I
scare
had
the crap
fun
out of you.
when I watched it the
Oh,
first
Sign
time.
when you
but-
see the aliens the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
time,
still
it
scare the
yeah,
crap
it scares
out of
the
you.
crap out of you. But this particular movie, like you know when you see like an enemy or something like that, like the person,
Yeah.
and they have
Yeah.
like a cinematic shot of that,
Yeah.
or like there's like ominous music.
Yeah.
Imagine seeing that, but then just the visual just being a pile of rocks.
Oh,
And like slow crop zoom in, right, of like a pile of rocks.
Kind of
and you're-
feels more like you're describing the show Lost.
And
now.
I'm just like, wait, so are the rocks are the enemy? And I'll let you guys watch the movie to understand that completely. But just an uncomfortableness, the
Yeah.
twist at the end, like every movie one of those has a twist at. It was just kind of, oh, all right.
yeah.
You're like, and it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see him.
I think The Village was the first time I got pissed off at one of his movies. I was like, nope, Okay,
I wasn't
I
pissed
liked
at the
it.
village.
No.
I like the
I
twist of the
did.
village.
I like the twist of the village too.
Oh,
You didn't like the twist of the
I
village?
was enjoying it up to that, and I was like, what a cop-out son of a...
No, I thought it was great.
I don't think it was a cop out.
The first
I enjoyed
time,
it.
if you don't have like all that other stuff, I could enjoy it that way. But I think knowing that, the more I thought about it, the more it made me angry.
Okay, how much does the village have in common with Midsommar?
Oh, quite a bit.
Midsommar, oh.
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Okay,
Midsommar is-
I need to
I
watch
love that
that.
movie.
I haven't
That's
seen it.
That's a good one.
I have to watch that. I still haven't seen it
That's
yet.
a good movie.
Yes.
So anyway, that
You
was
want
that.
uncomfortable.
That was my weekend.
Yeah,
Nothing
right?
too crazy. Basically, long story short, I lowered my project car too much. It's currently undrivable. We'll have to figure that out here in the upcoming days. Just raise it. It's on coilovers, so it'll raise.
Yeah,
but,
not too bad.
That's it. That's what I got.
Okay,
Okay.
there we
Wow.
go, guys.
We made it.
That was our weekend.
Sorry, G. I totally can't put that comment on the screen, but you're welcome. That's funny anyway. And if everybody's grossed out, it just
Yeah,
means you're
okay, just
effective.
about.
But, you know,
Oh my God.
that's life. We'd laugh at that.
good.
Yes. We're laughing inside. Okay. So that pretty much sums up that. Now, if you guys want to, I highly recommend subscribing to the main Rag Company YouTube channel because that is how you're able to comment on Q&As.
Not
That's
only
right,
that,
on
Dane,
Thursday.
if you guys haven't, go subscribe to the newsletter. Go to theragcompany.com
Yes.
Do
and
that.
subscribe because we've got a couple new things that are going to be coming out
Very
in the
soon.
next couple weeks.
We do.
And you need to be signed up so that you are notified of it.
You don't want to miss it. Trust us, you don't want to miss it.
Yep.
So make sure you go do that. And actually, you know what? I totally realized the music's playing and everything, but there was one thing I was thinking about on Q&As.
What?
Little change up. So you know how we did the subscriber only thing
Yes.
for the comments and stuff? A lot of people like that, but there's also people who are just like, oh, maybe it kind of cut down on the amount of interaction.
We're going to turn it off.
So what we're gonna do is, it's very easy for me to turn that on or off. We're gonna do the first Q&A Thursday of every month is open season. Anybody can come in there. All the other ones that month,
Open season.
all those other
open
ones
seating.
during the month
Open
will be
seating.
locked down to subscribers only. But that way, it's like an introductory period. It
Okay,
brings them in.
I like that.
So just know going
Yeah.
forward, that's how we're gonna run it.
First
Okay.
Thursday of every month.
Yeah, first Thursdays.
like
there you
it.
go. First
Nice.
Q&A Thursday. So with that said, guys, have a great week. We will catch up with you on Open Season Q&A Thursday. Coming this
Ooh,
Thursday.
all right.
See ya.
See ya.